Doing great. How are you?
Very good. Very good. Good workout this morning.
Nice. Would you hit?
Arms.
Nice. It's a
Yeah.
Good
Big
Friday
pop.
workout, isn't it? Hit the
Yeah.
arms, go out, see the ladies, get them all pumped up.
Yep.
How's work been?
Work. You mean at the restaurant?
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't been there since. Well, actually, I went there because I forgot my shaker, my protein shake at the restaurant yesterday. So I went there like at 11 p.m. to get it back,
Okay.
and they had a shitty dinner. They there was a new colleague that I haven't seen yet, a girl, and she did like shit. She wasn't doing what she was supposed to do and all that. So she went back home in the middle of the night, like, and they had to close the restaurant. There were two when we are usually like three or four. So me and a friend, we helped them all clean a part of the restaurant for, like, just for free.
You were saying she was sick?
No, she was just doing shit.
Oh, she just wasn't,
She was
working
just
well.
not doing the work she was supposed to do and all that. So I came there to get my shaker back, and they were all like long faces and pissed because they had to clean all the restaurant by themselves, and she didn't do any of the work she was supposed to.
Oh my God. She fired?
I don't know what our boss is gonna do.
Damn. That's annoying.
Yeah,
Oh well.
yeah, it's hard to find good people in.
Yeah, I bet. All over the world, especially
Yeah,
America.
definitely.
What's up, Jamie?
Morning, good morning.
Good morning, sir. I didn't forget about your AAR. I'm gonna listen to it after the stream.
That's all good. It's all good.
How was your day yesterday?
It was pretty good. Pretty good. I had a beautiful trade. I was happy with that.
Yeah, man.
Um,
That
you
EJ
know,
trade was beautiful.
yeah, still got to work on that trailing stop. But like I said, right now I'm just focusing on the process that we put together. I'll work on the trailing stop later. You know, taking my 1-to-1 of my plus 10, closing 75% of the trade, let the runner run the TP, and just keep wash, rinse, repeat that process over and over and over again.
Yes, sir.
So, and I felt good yesterday. I mean, yesterday was one of the first days where my runner literally just ran, hit full TP. I was like, what?
It's one of the best confidence builders right there. The more you see that, and then Quentin too. You lied back to us at something when you were at work. I saw.
Yeah, when I was at the gym this morning, gold.
Yeah.
But actually, I took another trade. I don't know, maybe an hour ago, and ended up in small loss because I couldn't secure.
What was this on gold as well?
Yeah, on gold as well.
Okay. You took a small loss because you managed risk the right way.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to? We can take a look at it if you have a chart.
Yep. Yep.
Also, GJ's pushing up right now. I didn't want to hop in a trade before. While we're breaking everything down, I hate being in trades, like and like watching it on my screen over here, and then trying to break things down for you. It's just not worth it. So I'd rather miss a trade than be in a trade trying to focus for you guys, and then I'm not 100% there. Do you guys see it right now?
Yeah, I'm looking at EJ, man, and
GJ's
she's
probably doing the same thing.
yep. I'm like, wow. Really? This is what we're gonna do right now?
Dude, this has been a week of it's been kind of weird, but at the same time, like just a week of some missed trades I could have definitely been getting. That
Hmm.
after a while, it frustrates you a little bit, but it's your schedule. Like
Yeah.
sometimes things get in the way and can't beat yourself up. Oh, I know what trade you just took. I was looking at the same thing. Yeah, good setup, right? You did all the right things.
Yeah.
Um,
Just entered a little bit low.
And this is the 30-minute. Yeah, I can't even argue with this stop loss here because this stop loss, like if you get a good volume push, what time was this at?
Um,
Wait, all
um,
right. So how long ago was this? You
it
can just
was at 11, so it was
probably 2 hours
at
ago,
5 a.m. 5 a.m.
5 a.m. Okay, hour and a half ago.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
does this?
5 a.m. But if I entered like 2 pips higher, I would have been able to secure it 1-to-1. It would have reached one to
Has it
one.
passed the low of this wick right here?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, trying to. This is not a bad trade. What does the 15-minute look like? It's
You have the 15-minute like
yep.
right at the beginning, like one of the first pictures.
I'll just keep looking at the hour. Now the thing is over here, looking at the hour, what do we always talk about when it comes to price being in, some kind of a bullish trend over here,
Yeah.
right? Price is pushing up. We create this high up here, and then we come right back down. And we did get that retest right here. I'm wrong. I didn't even see this right here. You did kind of get the retest, but at the same time, did you? Because this was the support, right?
Yeah.
And then we ended up respecting that support. I get it. This is our setup. I like this setup a lot. Stop loss up here. You take it as we pass the low of this candle right here. It does look like a retest of this level, right? It's hard for me to break down anything wrong with this trade, if that makes sense. We did get a support here on the 1 hour, but you got the 1 hour rejection, and then we passed the low of that candle. So in this case, it just really comes down to managing the risk and seeing what you could do. We are a little overextended over here. What time frame is this? The 4 hour. So this candle is getting a little weaker. 5 a.m. This candle just opened up, didn't it?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, top wick formed on the 4 hour. You're expecting another one of these candles with a clean move to the left. Again, it's very hard to see anything wrong with the trade that you just took. Looks like a fake out right there.
Yep.
Okay, so you closed 50% as it was pulling back like that. So I would say, oh, you closed it right here?
I closed it at the black line.
Oh, okay. So I was looking at this like dotted line, and I thought it was part of the arrow right here that you were like
Oh
pointing
no.
up here that you closed
No,
50 here.
I closed 50 at the black line as it passed the high of the previous 15 minutes.
Beautiful.
And then I closed full as the 30-minute closed bullish.
Okay. Oh, beautiful. So you barely lost anything.
0.28%.
0.28.
0.28.
Great job, dude. I wouldn't have done anything differently on this. All right. I would have taken that trade. I would have managed the same way. I love it.
Cool.
Now, price, you have some sort of a bearish trend over here on the 15-minute. Right here. Now, was price coming up to retest this area, and we ended up rejecting and continuing down?
No, you can go further in the pictures.
More screenshots. Okay, so price ended up holding that support, kind of faking that 1864 500 level out.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna break down gold over here and see where we're at now to see like if there's anything I would have done differently. But as far as this trade right here, I think it's good. Like I would have taken this as well. Clean move to the left. Anticipate this move down during London. Yeah, well, I would have probably done the same thing. Maybe expect some kind of a support to form somewhere in these areas, but we'll see if we could see something like that on the charts. But great job, dude. Great job managing risk. That's awesome. For Friday, barely lost anything. You already got one trade under your belt. Now let's look for another one as far as your second opportunity goes.
Yep.
Throw some of this on. Can you guys hear this?
Not right now.
Hardly.
Yeah.
You can't hear it? I don't want to make it too loud. Just want a little background music.
Mhm.
Is it too loud? Just let me know.
I don't hear anything.
You don't hear anything? Maybe turn up your volume if James is up.
Yeah, I can hear it faintly in the background, so it's not. I can hear you, which is good, and I can hear it
You can hear
in and
me
out.
clearly.
Yeah,
That doesn't interfere with it.
no,
Do you guys like this? Like, do we?
yeah, it actually doesn't bother me because I actually do the same thing over here. I have my background music that just allows my mind to focus.
Yeah.
So I have it just loud enough for me to, hear it,
Yep.
but not where it's like, okay, that's the focus.
That's where I like to have it, and that's where I focus the most is when I have like instrumental music in the background like that. And I can even have it like pretty loud too. Like I just keep it going and just keeps you in the zone. Like you feel like you're in a movie or something. Um, but anyway, let's look at the economic calendar again. Another bank holiday. I wonder if this is another thing for the Queen. Yeah, Platinum Jubilee. Jubilee. That's a funny word. Bank holiday. Okay, so same exact thing. But when it comes to some of the actual data that we had last night, or basically this morning, you have Spanish, Italian, French, German, and then the Euro final services PMI over here. So just about all of them pretty much missed the mark or came out as expected. We have a contracting market right now. We're not necessarily below 50 over here, but a lot of these numbers have been dropping, right? You have retail sales over here that come out negative 1.3% on the euro, right? So that's obviously not good for their data. It's not good for their economy, retail sales, everything. When it comes to an economy is based on a consumer. And when the consumer is not buying, that's not good, right? So today we have NFP. We'll see what the this is a little too loud for me talking. All right, we'll put this on later while while we're waiting for things to happen. All right, so you have NFP coming out now. We got a little taste yesterday of what the numbers could be. And a lot of times these two numbers don't even match up whatsoever, which is kind of weird. But ADP completely missed the mark. We had 128,000 jobs added over here. So what are we actually going to get from this data over here? They're expecting 325, still a large, drop off from the previous month over here or the month before. So, this is going to be a little interesting to see how this comes out. What I was looking at on unemployment rate, which is pretty interesting, we could end up getting mixed data, like bad jobs numbers, but then unemployment rate still drops. So it'll end up being mixed numbers. But if you see since May of 2020, we've been declining over here on the unemployment rate, right? You've had a couple months over here where you had the same exact unemployment rate around 6.8, right? And then, but price just keeps on dropping over here. Now, the previous 2 months came out the same, right? We came out at 3.6. So you can expect we haven't had a month yet, or besides right over here, we haven't had, actually, not besides this, we haven't had 3 consecutive months of unemployment being the same exact thing. So you can expect like the pattern to drop over here, maybe from 3.6 to 3.5. That's what they're expecting over here. So that would obviously be good for the dollar and good for our economy and everything like that. But if we miss the jobs numbers, that might be interesting, especially if we miss them by a lot. So just keep an eye out for this for NFP. We have ISM services PMI coming out as well. They're expecting a drop on that. Final services PMI expecting it to be the same, and then Brainerd's going to be speaking at 10:30. So we get some action-packed stuff coming in when it comes to the data, but like we were talking about yesterday, love-hate thing with NFP. It's just like a very slow week. You're kind of ranging most of the week, or you have messy price action. It's difficult to catch moves. It's typically a down week for me, especially like it's the beginning of the month anyway. So when you have the beginning of the month and this data coming out, the month starts off slow a little bit, and then eventually week 2, week 3, everything really like starts to ramp up and pick up. Now, currently this monthly candle and the weekly candle right here on GJ has been extremely bullish, and there's been nothing stopping it from reaching 164. So the question is, can we reach that today? especially with the bank holiday. Are we going to be able to reach that today? Or are we going to, fall short and start to retrace over here and end up closing a very strong bullish candle, but with a top wick to fill? All right. Our previous two bullish candles got top wicks that we filled over here. So can we get one on here for the next candle to fill it, pass through 164 and continue up? Looking at the daily now, daily formed its bottom wick, healthy bottom wick over here. We've been bullish over here for quite some time, since beginning or middle of May, right? Higher lows, higher highs, bouncing off 156, strong level, strong demand zone over here. Price coming right back down, now coming right back up over here. So are we going to reach 164 today, right? This resistance up here, and end up rejecting it to continue back down, where we get like a deeper pullback, maybe anywhere into these areas over here, hold support, and then we continue back up, right? That could happen. Could we get a close above 164? The next candle creates a bottom wick next week, and then we flip bullish and continue up, mirroring this move back up to 167,500. That'd be interesting, right? It all really depends on how weak the Japanese yen is. If we take a look at it today, we are extremely bearish. But right now, we're kind of holding this resistance over here. I know we were, we had the line chart over here. There you go. So we're holding a resistance in this previous area, previous resistance, support, and now again holding that resistance. Can we continue back down from here? Looks like we held some kind of a support in this area. Previous support over here to the left. So can we start to break through there? Last time we had a little resistance, right? We had a little pit stop, and then we continue right back down. Can we do the same thing here, rising GJ even further? All right, 4 hour. We're just pushing up over here and also following a trend within a trend. Price just respecting that bullish movement over here. We now broke through this area right over here. You have, if you take a look right now, multiple rejections, right, of this area. Price now has broken through that area with this candle, holding support with weak bearish candles and one like doji bullish candle. And we held a healthy support with that candle right there, right? Now, above this move, we have, kind of messy price action, but we definitely could be reaching 164 up here, right? After breaking and closing and holding support at this level, we can mirror this move over here, at least in the 163.850. But if price reaches that point, I definitely see us reaching 164, right? And not to mention the 4 hour, the daily. Yeah, the 4 hour. 4 hour is sitting above all these EMAs over here. The 1 hour is following all these EMAs as well. Now looking at the 1 hour, and our support right there, we ended up breaking and closing above this resistance right here, right? So can we hold support here, just like we did over here? Over here, can we hold support and price continue up with some pre-New York volume? Maybe we could get some of that, maybe even with regular New York volume once New York opens. But I'm seeing if we could get a move potentially before the New York stock exchange or the New York session opens to continue up. How many pips do we have here? Yeah, you get about 53 pips. So definitely enough. If you hold that healthy support, you get a healthy R to R, take this thing out and we'll do it together. Just gotta wait and see. Put this up here. Now we need, to have that secondary bias just in case anything happens. I mean, the daily is extremely bullish right now. Could very well see it continuing up. The 4 hour, right? Very bullish. It's difficult for you to sell anything on the 4 hour. These would be very risky. Sells right here, right? But if you can break this area, once you start breaking this area right here, then you got short pullback entries right back into these areas where then you can grab this back up. That makes sense? So now you guys have that in your mind where it's like, okay, I'm not going to marry buys. You don't ever want to marry your bias. You just want to be able to, and obviously that's your main bias. That's what you're waiting for, but you don't want to completely and only see that. You really got to play tricks on your mind in this. And that's one way to do it. It's just always being able to see sells in some kind of a way. Safe sells. Like these. These are your safest sells right here. Right here, a little tricky. Maybe right here, you'd be able to take this range right there. But again, these would be your safer sells, short-lived sells to take price right back up, respecting this trend and continuing back up. Does that make sense? So far, the one.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. You guys have any questions about it? Any kind of levels?
No.
Looking at, you know what? We have this resistance right over here. Price is rejected multiple times. We know it's strong because of how hard we've pushed from this level. Right? So now looking over here, price kind of tapped into that area. Right? So the question is, can we hold support? I think if we hold support with some New York volume, I think on a Friday, like we're going to want to tap into this area on the weekly and end up rejecting it towards the end of the day, creating that bottom wick. So can we hold support here? And if we do, I think we could break through this level over here. But we'll see. We'll see what the formation is. We'll see what candles are closing in our direction, what we want to see. 30-minute over here is, pulling back. So can we hold that support in this area? See, 15 is getting a little messy here. 15, what we ended up doing was exactly what we want, where you get that close above, retest, hold support, but with a very strong bullish candle over here. This candle created a bottom wick past the high right away, but now we're starting to reject. So now we're starting to turn into a range over here, especially if this candle passed the low of any of these candles over here, we'll be sitting in a range only if we respect this area. But yeah, the question is, do you want to take anything in here? Let's see what we do. Let's see how these candles close. We got about 5 minutes left for the hourly to close. So we'll see if we can get any kind of move. It's a nice London move here. Let's see, this is yesterday over here, holding the support, price pushing up. I sent a journal yesterday morning of how I would have caught GJ. Let's see. Love that message, by the way, Jamie.
Thank you, sir. I figured, you know what, I can relate because that's what I did.
Okay.
And I know there are members of the family that are, they're going through the same thing. And, listen, like you said, everybody, when you start this journey for monetary reasons, and you want to get there so quickly because what you see are the YouTubers, you see the Maseratis and the jets and the houses and the Gucci bags and all this crap. And like, oh man, you can make X amount of money in an hour. You can make X amount of money doing this, but they never really tell you just how long it took them to get there or how hard this journey is.
Yep.
Trading is simple, but it's hard because it takes mental discipline, emotional attachment. It takes focus, it takes drive, You know, you got to refine your craft. But so many times we're so anxious to get to the end that we fail miserably along the way.
Mm-hmm.
When in all actuality, all we need to do is slow down.
Yep.
Slow down.
And
That end is there. It may just take you longer to get there, but work on refining your craft, honing your skills, perfecting your entries, your system, and you will get there before you know it.
Amen. Amen. And the hard part is not even the trading part. Like breaking down the chart and taking trades, like that's the easy part. The hard part is controlling your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, that's what it is for everyone. And everyone looks at that as like, damn, like why does it have to be so hard? Why does it have to be so hard to control my mind in this game and keep my profits and all that stuff? And to be honest with you, that's the best part of it, because now you get to, like, if you switch your mindset, now you're looking at it in the lens of, this is going to make me grow. Like, I'm going to grow into a new person, a new man, because I'm able to stay disciplined in the market. I'm able to stay confident, and that's going to formulate into different parts of your life where now you're disciplined. Or what you could do is the opposite, where you're more disciplined in your personal life, so now it makes it easier in your trading. So they go hand in hand. But I like to do the latter, where I'm going to get personal in my personal life, discipline in my personal life, and then that's going to translate into the chart.
Yeah.
I need some water. Lewis, what's up, buddy?
Good morning, fellas.
Good morning, my man. How are you?
Good, man. How are you guys?
Good.
Good.
We're just looking at GJ over here. We someone sent a chart. Awesome, Jamie. Thank you. So the
That one was a little difficult for me. I'm gonna be honest with you, because when I looked at it, and well, once you do the EJ analysis, you'll see. But we're coming up to levels that we haven't seen since 2016. So it kind of puts us in that no man's land.
Yep.
Where, I mean, that's pretty much a 90 pip range once you break above that resistance right now. We haven't seen that level since 2016.
Right here.
No, the one above it.
Oh, up here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So trying to determine where we could go in there, you know, where resistance levels are, it was a little difficult for me. So I'm hoping that as you look at it, you'll be able to give me some insight as to what I should have seen on a weekly, daily, even a monthly level that could say, okay, listen, you may get tripped up right around here, or this is a level that we need to focus on.
Sure. Yeah. Let's do a full breakdown of EJ, just so we have a good idea. And I'll have, like, that'll be your chart today that you break down.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll go through it together and see like where we think price is going to go. I like that, because I'm looking at a few levels over here, and one thing that I feel like we could correct is just, this is your path.
Okay.
You know, instead of
Yeah.
taking anything up here, this is your area, especially in such a bullish trend.
Yeah.
Right? You don't want to force any kind of sell. So better sells will be, like you said, right here. Better sells right here. You're just looking at this level. You're like, if we break that, you're not worried about this?
Actually, I am. So the intention isn't to take a buy anything, you know, like where you had that last hour. Actually, let me design the tape, made it easier.
I'll clear mine.
Here we go. Yeah. I'm not planning to take anything in here.
Cool.
What I'm looking for is, that's my estimation of what price is going to do. Come back and give us one last retracement to respect this support, now turn resistance, then break down. So I wouldn't take a sell until we break here and then write it down.
I love it. Makes sense. Yeah. Jamie, do you have the drawing tools? Do you have the arrow?
Do no, look at that. That's easier. Ha. Didn't even realize that thing was in there.
Hey, you're always drawing lines, and I'm trying to figure out what you're like. Is this a level, or is this like an arrow pointing in the
Yeah,
direction?
it's just a habit. Didn't even pay attention to that.
I got you, man. As long as you're sending charts, that's all that matters, right?
I'm trying, just trying to get better.
Trying well. All right, 7:01, 1 hour candle just closed, right? Closed the bearish candle. Are we going to respect this area over here? Again, we're not taking any kind of sells until maybe this level, but on the higher time frames, this is that level that now we're starting to actually break structure That's probably the actual structure. And then you got this whole clean move here to the left that you could be mirroring, right? I mean, obviously you could take multiple sells from here, this whole area, down into here. And then you could take these into here, but these, you're actually breaking structure, and you know you're pretty bearish once you're in this area. But these are going to be short-lived sells, definitely securing right here where we can hold support and continue up. You see that, Lewis? We're in like a trend within a trend, and we've been so bullish over here. We have previous rejection points up by 164. So can we get some kind of a pullback into these areas, right, before continuing up, holding support, and then we grab the move up? That makes sense?
Yeah, man.
Mhm.
So let's see, 30-minute, 15-minute. Yeah, 15-minute is a little iffy right here. We're basically ranging. We're passing the lows and the highs of previous candles. It's messy. 30-minute looks like, all right, can we hold a support here? That'd be interesting. All right, but right now in the 15-minute, it's just very messy over here. So we'll see what we end up getting. Let me actually pull it up on my other chart here so that I could be watching it. This 15-minute is really bouncing off this level over here. It'd be interesting if this 1 hour candle flips, 30-minute candle flips, closes bullish. Next 30-minute candle creates a bottom wick, past the high of it, continues up. Could you take something like that? You only have 15 pips up to that area. I do think we can break through that area up to 164. Again, if you look to the left, after breaking, yeah, you have this resistance right here. The price has been rejecting over here, but I think we're going to reach 164. Really just depends on, so you get these rejections over here too. I mean, maybe we fall short for the week, right? Maybe we're going to form some kind of a top wick over here at some point soon. And then the weekly retraces back to these areas. We get like a pullback today during New York. And then the weekly will have its top wick, right? And then next week, what we'll do is create a bottom wick on the next candle, flips bullish past the high of that candle, and breaks right through 164, retesting the previous candle body highs. If this is the 30-minute time frame, you take this thing right after this close, another one after this candle flips bullish, another one after this candle past the high of that candle, you're continuing this thing up right to the high up here. All right, so let's move over to gold now. Keep our alerts here. Let's see if we break this area. If we start to break that area right there. All right, so looking at gold over here, what's going on right now is a pullback on the dollar. The dollar has reached like pretty much the all-time highs. If you go, there we go. Yeah, so the dollar reached that 105 level over here, and ever since then we've been pulling back, right? We've been pulling back based on the fact that the Fed is getting a little bit more dovish. They're getting a little bit more weary of increasing rates, especially with data coming out. So specifically this week, NFP's coming out, the Fed and a lot of investors have been waiting for that data to be released in hoping that the data will be bad. So then the Fed will pull back on increasing rates. That's why the stock market has been rebounding a little bit, right? That's why you've seen gold rebounding a little bit too. If we go over to the indices, you've had some indices like pulling back from their monthly lows and weekly lows over here. They're starting to rebound a little bit. not as bad of a week as the previous past weeks, right? We've had like a pretty bad slaughter on the Dow. The Dow is at 1.33% over here on the day. So listen, when it comes to the stock market, they don't want to increase rates. It's going to make it harder for people to do business. It's going to make it harder for all businesses, right? It tightens monetary policy. So it's harder to get money. It costs more to get money. Interest rates are higher. So when you have the Fed now talking like, we need to see more data. I don't think we have a healthy enough economy to raise rates. You're going to start to see gold start to come up. You're going to start to see the dollar come down a little bit, right? So looking at gold now, we started the month off pretty strong, also bouncing off a strong technical level of 1838 or 1830, right? So holding that support here, already created a bottom wick. Now we're starting to push up from that level, respecting this multi-year bullish trend over here, right? Looking at the weekly looks nice. 3 consecutive bullish candles, kind of fake out 1830, strong bullish candle. Another one right here. This one did pass the low of that candle, but now it flipped bullish and passed the high of that candle right there. So how can this weekly close, and will it close above our level right over here to the left? All right, at that level, if we close above, next weekly candle could create its bottom wick and continue up. Right, it looked like we were slowing down around here a little bit, and we were passing the low of this candle to continue down, when in reality it was just a liquidity grab to continue up, because again, people are anticipating bad numbers coming out of NFP and jobs numbers, especially after the ADP yesterday. They're expecting gold to continue to rise now and the dollar to fall. Looking at the daily now. Daily, we're sitting at a significant level, right? 1870. Price is rejecting these levels right over here. So far, we had a higher low formed on the daily. This higher low respected, price pushing up all the way to retest these highs over here. This candle looks like passed the high right away and is now rejecting this level over here. So what's going to go on with 1870 here, and can we close above it, right? I think we're just going to be waiting for data over here to see if price pushes through. If they're really bad numbers, price could very well continue up. Looking at the 4-hour now. Just going to readjust this. Actually, we'll adjust it to that right there, 1870 psychological number. Now, ever since tapping into our lows down here, previous support, looking at the 4-hour now, we've been respecting this short-term bullish structure over here to continue up. Are we respecting this bearish structure? And ever since then, we've been like kind of pushing up. But are we just going to hold this resistance and continue down with maybe some good numbers coming out of the US and further hawkish sentiment saying that we're going to continue to raise rates and price just continues down? So we're like in this channel right here. I'm sure you've seen this on a lower time frame, where in the bearish movement over here, bearish trend, price kind of retraces a little bit. We get that short-term bullish trend, and then we continue right back down, breaking 1830 and continuing right back down. All right. But right now, I'm just going to take that off. Right now, we're rejecting 1870. We're also looking at this 200 EMA that price is bouncing off of as well. And also, we had this trend line. I believe it was. That was making sense yesterday. Right over here. So price is kind of like respecting this and breaking through it finally after tapping into it multiple times. I'm not going to keep it there, but are we bullish now? I think we need to break through 1870 previous resistance here. I'll just draw it out for you. I think we need like a support held here to continue back up to 1910. All right, we have a little pit stop right here. So a little pullback and then continue back up. If that's the case, right? If we get bad numbers, we could get something like that. But so far, we're holding some kind of a support right in here. Previous resistance, holding a support in this area right here with this bullish candle. Didn't close yet on the 4 hour, but we'll see if it does. Looking at the 1 hour now, 1 hour is holding support. Been in a very bullish trend since tapping into this area. And I'm not going to draw that. Very bullish trend over here since June 1st. All right, June 1st, all of a sudden we've been in this bullish trend. We created this high up here, right? Can price continue up to retest those highs? You have this previous support over here. Damn, Quentin, I'm looking at this right here. This was your move.
Yeah, that's the one I live back tested.
Yes. Yeah, right here.
Yep.
That's that setup right there. You take it once it breaks this support too. Like it's not like we are holding this support in here, right? But you have this setup. Once you create that top wick and we respect that level and we break the low of that candle, as long as you have volume, which is the key part, you can mirror that move to the left and retest the low. All right. So this is the one you tried to grab. So with that being said, this was a nice bearish push right into this level over here, Quentin. You got that resistance right here, right? And now you can expect some kind of a rejection off that area so the price could continue back up, right? Hold resistance potentially in this area and potentially hold resistance here to continue down. And then you get like safe sells below this area. Clean move to the left.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that right here was your, reason for price bouncing off that level. So again, I think you did everything right as far as managing risk and everything, and also even the entry. But at the same time, now we kind of see why this would have been a difficult entry to take. Maybe you want to wait for that close below that level. Well, right now we're holding support and we're pushing up into this level, and it looks like we're starting to reject this level up here a little bit. All right, looking at the 30-minute now, we're holding a nice support here. Just going to readjust this. Holding a support there. Price tapping into this area over here. We need a close above there or above some of these EMAs over here. We need a close above here and a support formed for price to continue up. Now I want to go to the higher time frames again just to get a good idea. Yeah, it's the thing is candle anatomy wise, and looks like GJ's falling a little bit. Candle anatomy wise, our previous resistance over here was right here. This candle closed above. This candle passed a high and is now respecting this area so far. Can it stay above that area and continue to drive up? But right now, the daily candle is pretty bearish. And we did break below back into 1868, right over here, this previous resistance. Tapped into 1870 and 72, but now we're starting to come back into this area. But how many times do we see price tap into like 170 like this, get a deeper pullback back into the area, like a higher low in the support area, and then continue through there, right? Like you have a range like this. Price is like kind of consolidating in this area, and then price breaks out. We come right back into the range, and then we continue out from there. All right, so could we be getting something like that right now? Where it's like, this is 1870 right there. So you get a little fake out, price comes back into the area, holds a higher low, and then continues up from there. Let's see if that's what we get. Right now, it's a little tricky. We'll see where we end up going. Any questions on gold? No? Yeah, gold's a little difficult right now. I like that we're holding this higher low. Again, remember we have NFP coming out, so you may want to be easy on gold today before any of the news comes out. A lot of the volume, as you guys know, is probably going to be coming out after NFP, right? So just kind of wait for that. Maybe, and there's plenty of times you could get a move before that. I don't want you guys to be completely closed in on not taking a trade before 8:30. But for the most part, I don't take trades as much. Right, I've taken many before, but not too many. All right, so gold kind of pushing up over here. This candle closed above that resistance over here. These candle bodies, and we're kind of pushing up, but we're starting to tap into this resistance over here. All right, let's see. Oh, GJ rejecting that area again. Trapping some people. Yep, holding support. Jamie, you want to break down EJ?
Sure.
All right.
Make sure I grab the correct annotation tool this time.
Drawings. Wow, look at that.
That's
yeah. Maybe. We are pushing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So where would you like your zones?
So the first one I'd put here, because that's current support.
Like it.
Yeah. The next one, and this is where I started getting into trouble, was I can see this resistance clearly here. And I know that's a wide zone, so ignore the width of it, but that could be a little narrow.
More narrow, you said?
Yeah, please. Because that's way too wide.
Yeah. And then would you like to draw this back here?
Yes.
Beautiful. Let's have a rejection at that level. Okay.
Yeah. I'd like to highlight this area here.
There you go.
Yeah. And only because, like I said, right now, we're above, we're actually back into the area that we haven't seen since 2016, 2015. These areas. And yeah, look at that, the huge, beautiful, wow, didn't even see that's in there. So we have a literally clean traffic on the monthly that we can ride up.
Yep.
If we get a nice break and retest here and do something like that.
Yep. And what does this price action tell you? What can you expect with this?
At some point in time, I can expect we're going to have a pullback, but we're having, I mean, we've been going up for the last 4 months. We've been in a bullish trend.
Yep.
Without a retracement. So at some point in time, we have to have a retracement, give the market time to breathe, come back, collect orders, grab liquidity before continuing up again.
Mm-hmm. And fundamentally, why has the euro been pushing up so much against the yen?
Why? Weakness of the yen.
Weakness of the yen. And then when it comes to the euro, what have they been doing or talking about?
Well, they've been talking about increasing interest rates.
There you go. Good shit.
So, taming inflation, increasing interest rates.
Yep. And this is solely based on the strength of the euro is solely based on increasing rates, not the strength of the economy. The fact that they're increasing rates and making the euro a little bit more valuable is why that's happening. Also, the weakness in the Japanese yen and the weakness in their monetary policy and how they want to keep it at that. That's their sentiment. You keep asking Kuroda and all these people in the Bank of Japan, all of them want to keep it at where it is. And they think political policy is what's going to help inflation and getting supply chains going again. But great job when it comes to the fundamentals behind this. That gives you confidence. But like I said, like with a move like this, we can very well, especially after tapping into this wick right there, and then these wicks over here to the left, you can definitely be expecting some kind of a pullback over here, right? We've reached all-time highs. And anytime you have something like that, always expect a pullback, right? Just like in our lives, right? Where everything's going great. Everything's like really good. You can always expect like something's going to hit you. You're going to get adversity that's going to hit you, but how are you going to react to it? That's the question. But it's the same exact thing with trading. Okay, so weekly. What's up, Reese? Just want to say hello real quick.
Morning, everybody. Morning, yourself.
Morning, my man. How are you?
Not too bad. I'm good.
Good.
Oh.
All right. So, yes, what would you like to do from here?
Here, I'm looking at this area. Really? This is what we're doing? There we go. All right. Here.
Okay.
So you can see that was previous resistance. We've tapped it a few times. If you look to the left, you can see that, we've, it's also been, let me clear that out of there. Thank you.
I'm good.
We have here, and it was support at one point there.
Sorry, I got the video over here to the left.
All good. There you go. So right now we're tapping into this. So the question is, do we have enough volume with NFP today or even, next week to push us through this level? Because you can see once we got below it, we had strong moves down. Once we got above it, we had a strong move up. This is very interesting traffic because this was clean all the way down and through that zone. So we had something very strong fundamentally that caused this move to push literally right through those levels. And that was back in 2014. So the question is, what was that event? And do we have enough momentum to push us back up and take us back up to here?
I think that definitely could have been, especially with this being the weekly, definitely could have been fundamental. But could it have been just technical as well? Just bouncing from these previous highs up here, this previous support, tapping into that area, retesting it. You have such a hard bullish trend, which is what we just went over, right? When you got all these consecutive bullish candles like this, you can always expect some kind of a pullback, some kind of a correction.
Yeah.
Right. And we actually ended up breaking through the previous support. This being the weekly, it had to have been fundamental. Back in 2014, I'm not too sure what was going on. I know we were in the middle of the recovery from the 2008 market crash. So from the middle of 2012 to around 2015, 16, we were really like the world was really like cranking. Like we were really getting back to normal as far as and even through 2016, because our stock market was the strongest it could possibly be. The only thing was, it's not a real economy. It's been a bubble, right? So and GJ's holding support right now, by the way. If you guys go over here, let's go back real quick. You guys can see it. GJ's starting to flip bullish over here. Got about 5 minutes left for this 30-minute candle to close. So can we close a fairly strong bullish candle? Next one creates a bottom wick past the high of that candle, and we continue up from here. Right? Like I said, if we get something like that, I think we can continue through this level, but you do want to secure a piece of it, right? Maybe you enter dynamic risk, right, with two different entries or three different entries. One of them you secure up here, the other one you let run up to 164 today. But we'll see how this 30-minute candle closes and if we even get a formation to take a trade. Okay, so now looking at the weekly now. Again, we're right back at that area, previous rejection point to the left as well, these wicks. But once we get through that area, as you said, got a clean move to the left over here that we could be grabbing something, right?
Yes.
Is there anything you want to correct or fix over here?
So could you zoom in a little bit? Let me see.
We could go more immediate price action now.
Okay. So one level that I am looking at is this current support that's being held here, which is also the resistance. Perfect.
Yes, sir. And then this one right here, being that it's 137, and if that's that level on the higher time frames, yeah, that could be 137. Would you want to make this potentially like a horizontal line?
Yes, rather than a zone, because that's a psychological level.
Yes, sir. Also, like just to keep out of your way when you're doing your analysis.
Mhm.
There you go. Yeah, I don't mind the horizontal line, but it's the big fat zones in the middle of my range. I don't like that.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah, that looks good.
Awesome. Down to the daily now. Tapping into this wick. Been very consecutive bullish since this little like fake out over here.
Mhm.
All right. So what would you like to take a look at from here?
Right now, so, and this is where it got a little hairy for me again, is I can see this resistance. This, I don't know what this is, to be honest with you, this second one, whether it was attempting to form support up here, retail. I mean, I really don't know what that was. But whatever it is, price came back up, tried to retest the area, which it did, confirmed resistance and moved away. But now we broke right back through it again. So is that even a valid area that I should be concerned with? Or, is it an area that we should just kind of keep an eye on to say, okay, right now we haven't had a pullback for the last, let me see, what's this, 5 days, 6 days. So we can expect price to at least come back to this level, create support before moving back up again.
Yep.
So that's the retest we'd like to see. Well, I'd like to.
I like it. Yeah, you're right. When it comes to consecutive candles, and this is where trend lines kind of help, right? You have a trend line like this where price is respecting. Now you can start to see how we're a little overextended, right?
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. You could see how, somehow we could get some kind of a pullback into this area, hold
Mm-hmm.
support, and then continue up, right? So being a little overextended over here, maybe we get some strength in the Japanese yen, right? And we get a little pullback here. Also, the week is up today. So are we going to form a top wick on the weekly?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Can we get a rejection of this area, which we've gotten many times previously to the left? Can we get that rejection and price continues down into this area, maybe closes somewhere around here? Or are we just going to keep pushing up? That could happen too. But at some point, it's going to pull back. We always know that. All right, the 4 hour now. It's going to adjust this. There we go.
The 4 hour, I can clearly see there's a, okay. I'll wait for you to stop that.
Yeah. I was waiting for you to mark it off.
All right. I can clearly see there is an area zone right here that we need to pay attention to. That was one support, turn resistance. Now we see that it formed a support again.
Yes, sir.
So prices come back and respected that area. And so we've tapped into this area. We've coming back up to retest. What we have done on a smaller scale is created a little area, and I know that's crooked, but a little area of support there. Yep. So the question is, does that line up with Here, we'll go back to my arrow. You know that?
Over here.
Yeah,
This support does not.
it does not.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's right over here.
Okay.
That over, but then you got that resistance right there that we haven't been at since April 21st. Before we continue with EJ, we got to go back to GJ real quick.
Yep.
You guys can see what's going on right now. Now the 1 hour candle and this area over here, we're holding that support that we talked about, right? We got a rejection right here. Again, a clean close above, and these candles keep coming into this area and rejecting it, right? But what's going to happen here is this 1 hour candle flipping. It did pass the low of the previous candle, which makes it a little iffy to take any kind of impulse entries. But what does this 30-minute look like it may be doing, or it could do? It could trap a lot of people right now. This candle did not close strong enough, I don't think. But are we creating a bottom wick here and passing the high of that candle? We've been very bullish. We get a nice rejection over here. I just wish this candle was stronger. But can we take something once it breaks the high of that candle? All right, 30-minute just closed. Can we continue up? Now, the question is, again, how many pips? We do have a rejection area up here that you may want to be aware of. That's about 13 pips up there. All right. So are you going to take this? Okay, cool. Jamie, you went to the bathroom? Okay, cool. So Reese, how you been, man? Have you taken anything as of late?
I took 2 trades yesterday, which I'm gonna journal today. I'm not gonna take a trade if I don't have to, but if I do, I'll probably end up on a lower lot today.
Cool, smart.
Yeah, it's Friday. I still have journaling I have to do from yesterday, so I don't even think I'm gonna be trading at all today.
Okay, I like that. I was talking about it before. Like, we're at the end of the week, like on a Friday, where that's the day you want to lower your risk. Now, this is also NFP week, which is typically the first week of the month. Now, the first week of the month, NFP week, is usually slow until NFP. So just keeping that in mind, knowing that week 2 of the month, week 3 of the month is where you can raise your risk a little bit, right? But obviously keep that between Tuesday and Thursday, those days that you're really raising your risk. But that just gives you an idea of the market cycle and how important that is to pay attention to timing and when you're getting a lot of your volume.
Pardon?
What was that?
I didn't get that last part you said.
I was saying, like, when it comes to the week, right? The end of the week right now, it's NFP week. NFP week, typically, we were talking about it yesterday. I have a love-hate relationship with it just because there's like no volume usually during that week until NFP, and then NFP comes out and then it's a dud, right? And it's just like you lost that entire week of trading. You only took a few trades, which is not like you lost the week, but it's like, damn, like we ranged for no reason. We ranged to get ready for basically no move during NFP. So keeping that in mind, that first week is always that week that you kind of want to lower your risk. Like this week, I lowered my risk. This week, I lowered my quantity of trades that I've taken, right? I didn't take that many this week, right? But next week is where things start to open up a little bit. You start to get some data coming out of some of these countries that we trade. You get a lot more volume in the market, right? Especially like now. Now is June. Now's where the volume, just so you guys understand, like the timing of like the whole year. This time is where the volume starts to die down just a little bit. And then once you get into the July, August, September, all that volume really starts to die down because people are on summer breaks, people are relaxing, big time traders trade from like January and end up hitting their goal by April or May, and then they're done for the whole year until maybe the fall, right? Or even done for the whole year. There's a guy I watch on YouTube that trades like 2 or 3 months out of the year, and then he takes the rest of the year off, which I couldn't see myself doing just because I was
That's
trading.
crazy. Yeah, I could see myself doing that as well.
You could?
Yeah, yes, sir.
I would love to, but like I can't see myself not trade. Like when people say like they hit their profit target by Wednesday, like I understand why they step away from the chart and they just don't take anything, which I fully understand that. Don't get me wrong. But like I still would want to be on the chart. I still like watching price move and breaking down charts and fine-tuning my skill, getting better and better, learning more, right?
But do you still trade if you hit your weekly goal or whatever? Or no?
If I hit my weekly goal, I'm probably not taking the trade unless it's a perfect setup. I'm being more conservative, more
Low on your risk.
Or selective.
more selective. Definitely. It's like this needs to be it's the way my rules work for Asian session. Like if I'm going to take a trade, it's got to be like a really good setup.
What time do you usually look at Asian session when you're done?
Around like 6 or 7 when I start breaking it down for you guys. And I get my pulse on the market all day long. So I kind of know where price is going to be throughout the day. As long as I'm like not on the road and I'm able to watch the market, I always check it back and forth because I have the discipline to do that. Other people don't. Other people feel the need to take a trade when they're probably not supposed to.
Yeah, and it's funny that you said that because my friend just called me last night. Like, you know how you're saying that this week we've been ranging. There has not really been any volume and anything. He was like, they called me. It's like, man, I'm so frustrated because he's only taken one trade this whole week and it was break even. And he's more like a intraday swing trader. And he was like, dude, I need to learn how to do like more scalping and stuff. I was like, oh, well, maybe you can help him out. So I'll let you know.
Absolutely, send him my way. Well, I'll talk to him and see what I can do to help him, and we'll start fine tuning. How long has he been trading?
He's been trading for what? He's funded, I think, with FTMO, and I don't know. You know how you have so many days that you can trade or whatever. I'm not sure what the rules are, but he's like, yeah, dude, like this week has like not been giving him any setups.
Yeah.
So he's looking for more like a short term, like, you know, you grab your 10, 15 pips an hour. And I told him, I was like, it's been helping me lately because, you know, I used to be more like a swing trader too. And now I'm like, okay, now it's good to have this in your strategy list, you know?
And, you know, like we scalp because we scalp. Like that's what makes sense to us. We like to be on these live sessions. Like I run a live session with you guys every day, so we can be taking trades during that. But when it comes to swing trading, you're doing the exact same thing that you're doing on these lower time frames. Like the way that we trade, just hop up to the 4 hour, the daily, and take your trades on that. But it's the same setups.
Yeah, just a lot fewer though.
Just a lot fewer trades.
It's a good thing you mentioned that about swing trading because I was going to ask you about that this weekend too, stuff.
Sure.
Because I've been seeing other traders like they get in at the bottom and take it all the way to the top, and like eventually that's something I want to do too eventually. So, or learn to do actually.
Yeah. That's something that like we all get enticed by, including myself. Like you see these big moves, I'm always like trying to look at like how can I catch this long move that lasts like a month. Like I know somebody that's been riding GJ. Actually, I don't know him personally, but I've seen where did I find this guy? I forget who it was. Somebody showed me. Has been riding GJ since 139. Somewhere around here.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Since
how many days is that?
What? That is a lot of swap fees. That's what that is.
Dude, you're talking about almost 2 years, man.
Yeah. Yes, sir. But this is what people do. People will take one trade a year. Right? A trade like this, they'll take this, and this is where fundamentals come in for you guys. This is why fundamentals are so important, right?
Oh my God.
Almost
3,000 balls of steel to hold that, bro.
Oh yeah. You're what do they call it? Diamond hands, right?
That's crazy.
Yep. Yeah. So again, if that entices you, right, grabbing price from right here and riding this all the way up. right? Grabbing price from 158, riding this all the way up. Obviously, this isn't our style, but it's something that like is enticing. It's somehow I would love to ride one of these things up at some point. But right now, again, this is where I think a lot of, like, in the most humblest way possible, a lot of my strength comes from being able to focus. And a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs, you guys, like, you have friends that are doing different businesses like e-commerce and what else could you be doing? Real estate. You could be doing all these different things and being enticed by all these different things. But what I like to do is I want to master one thing and then move on to the next. So I don't want to move on to anything else until I make $1 million trading.
Okay,
Right?
I was just gonna ask you, what do you consider mastering? So there you go.
Well, mastering is they say 10,000 hours, right? But for me, it's like I have this tangible goal that I can reach. It's like I've made $1 million trading. So now
Yeah.
I have the ability to predict price almost with my eyes closed, which I feel like I can almost do now. But like, obviously the money's not there yet. But once that money's there and I have that backing, now I can start moving into commercial real estate.
Do you trade your own funds, or you are privately, or you're funded?
I trade my own funds and funded by Funded Trader.
Nice.
So I'm trying to leverage them. This is what I'm trying to teach you guys. Trying to leverage them into my own, like building a much bigger account, like a $200,000-$300,000 account. With that one, with a couple different challenges. So with the 80% that you're making from these companies, I'm trying to look for, payouts so that I could put that into a different account and then, say goodbye to these funding companies.
So what's your withdrawal strategy? Do you withdraw a certain percentage every month, or do you just compound it into your real account?
I like compounding because I have the driving company. I don't need to touch the Forex profits. So that's what, like, I write it down every day, $1 million in my bank account from trading. So I'm just trying to build that up. But what I'm saying with mastering stuff is you guys in the market, you get very enticed by other people's strategies. There's thousands of strategies out there, and you see these big moves happening. You could very well take them because you guys trade basic price action. But you guys need to, first of all, back test it. And second of all, form a different trading plan for entering these trades on the higher time frames. But at the same time, if you haven't mastered 10 pips a day and like just grabbing that consistently every single day, you got to be 100% focused on that. You got to be 100% focused on journaling trades that you could have gotten those 10 pips, 15 pips on, and reviewing your whole week to see like how you could have taken all the trades that you missed, all that stuff. Like, that's going to take a lot of your time, let alone trying to figure out a new strategy. So master that first, get really confident with that, do it where you can do it with your eyes closed. You can predict price with your eyes closed and then move on to the next.
And see, for me, and I took that approach. So remember I told you I wanted silver to be my secondary pair, and I do have it.
So that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's the reason why I stopped sending the silver charts, is because I realized that I needed to focus on mastering EJ, my support, my resistance, my break, my retest, breakouts, all of this stuff, my analysis of EJ before I could even start looking at silver.
Okay.
Because there are trades in there that I missed. There are, entries that could be tightened up. There are stops that could be tightened up, all these different things. So instead of looking at another pair, master the one first.
Yes. The only thing with that is, Jamie, and I love that approach. You like, is EJ the only one you look at whatsoever?
No, actually, I look at UJ as well.
Okay.
And silver.
Okay.
So I like the way UJ moves.
Okay.
Only because the strength of the dollar versus the weakness of the yen.
Yep.
And it does move well in both Asian and New York session. So I keep an eye on it, and I've started to chart it because it moves, similar.
Yeah.
But silver is like gold. It's a different beast, takes a different focus, a different level of detail. So, and I didn't want that to distract me from what I'm seeing on EJ. I wanted to focus on mastering my setup, my break and retest, and perfecting those entries and setting the stops right.
So again, like I said, I love that approach. I think you're doing the right things. I just want you to, what you should do is all your focus should be on EJ, back testing it, journaling it, all that stuff, but always keep these other pairs, like maybe one more. I would do maybe silver. And you can do 3 if you want, but it just takes time away from the other ones.
Yeah.
And then also like when you're looking at 3 different pairs and you get 2 different setups for scalps, you start going crazy. You're like, damn, like which one do I take? Then
Yeah.
all of a sudden you take one, you take a loss on that one, then you're looking at the other one, it plays out and you're pissed off. And it's just, you know, three pairs scalping is just a little too much. But having 2 is very important. One that you spend a lot of your time on, right? And the other one is like kind of off to the side. Right? And it's people always say it's like your side.
Side trick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I know my wife is sleeping right now, so I can say it.
Yeah, I know. I don't know where my wife is, but not that I have any of those. But yeah, that's kind of how you treat it. It's like, all right, I'm gonna backtest this when I have some time, when I feel like I've done enough work. I've done my, let's say, 6-7 hours of backtesting this week on EJ. Now I can, or this is where, like when you get all your daily must done by 2 p.m. instead of, let's say, 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. Now I have 4 hours that I could spend doing whatever I want. But instead of doing whatever I want, vegging out on the TV or anything like that, now I'm getting better at another pair, another business. That other pair is another business. And like you don't want to be hopping around different businesses and trying to do that. Obviously, it's less intense than running 2 businesses, but it's you got to look at it that way. But
Stream is going to be on YouTube, right?
yes, sir. Oh, you want to watch this conversation again?
Yep.
This is a good one. I'm going to pull a couple clips up from this and maybe put this on Instagram.
Yeah, that
Good
was
talk. Like it's this is what I love. This is what I love most about the sessions. I mean, I love obviously catching moves together. That's the best feeling ever. But you know, going through these talks and having these psychological talks, obviously we're not always there. Like some days we're tired, some days that conversation just isn't flowing. But when it is, and you guys are asking questions, I could just rattle things off for you. You know, give you my expertise. But always having that humble approach. That's what I want to impress on you guys. Always having that, like, there's way more that I can learn. Like, I have not arrived at all. Like, if you guys always have that mindset, keeping your confidence at the same time, you're gonna do very well, because you're always gonna be asking yourself, how could I be better? What could I be doing better here? How could I have taken this trade better? How could I manage my time better today? How could I have gotten more things done today? You know, all those things, being critical of yourself. Super important. That's where the AARs come from. And again, if you're not sending them, that's on you. Like that's, you know, you're not getting the most out of yourself. I'm telling you, if you haven't even tried it yet, you have so much potential by writing to yourself and telling yourself, all right, this is what I didn't do today. I need to do this tomorrow. Right? Or I had this kind of a day. I was kind of off today. What can I be doing tomorrow to fix that? Like, obviously you could go through all this in your head, but when you write it down, there's a power behind that. You can ask any successful person. There's so much power behind it. I know, Jamie, you know, you started your ARs a few weeks ago. How does it like make you feel when you're writing these things down to yourself?
Oh, phenomenal. It has given me a level of focus that I have not seen in my life, period. You know, I had it at one point when I was working out, but let me tell you, I mean, my wife and I had the conversation yesterday. She asked me, you know, in the last 3 weeks since joining SFX, what have you learned? I said, listen, I said, this man has given me, I said, aside from the trading skill, the refinement, he has given me a level of focus and accountability that I have never had from anyone in my life.
That's amazing.
And I've had a lot of great people come through my life that I love to death and we communicate, but no one has ever given me that kind of accountability to say, listen, here's what you're going to do. You're going to do this every day. And I want you to send me this to tell me what you've accomplished for the day. Okay. And when you are being held to that level, okay, that accountability, and someone says, I'm going to hold your feet to the fire, you don't want to fail. You don't want to let them down. You want to succeed. So you're going to do everything that you can to make sure that you stick with it all the way through, because you want to make that person proud, but also you don't want to be burnt. You don't want to let them down.
Wow.
So you have given me that drive and that focus that it not only in trading, but it now pertains to everything else in my life.
Dude, I love that. I'm so happy that you've been like just really turning the corner, and you have. I've seen it. It's been amazing to watch. Like when we're both giving 100% effort, and we're both here every single day. Like, you know, you're sending your charts, I'm giving you my corrections. We're on the live streams together, all that stuff. But you're sending your ARs every day, and I'm in tune with. And you know, a lot of guys send them on Fridays, right? And just like a nice recap. This is how my Monday was. Another voice message. This is how Tuesday was. This is how Wednesday was. But when you do it every single day, you're now correcting things a lot quicker, right? Obviously, you're doing it on your own, but now we can correct things a lot quicker together. When I know what's going on every day, like today, Wednesday, I struggled a little bit. Right, Thursday, I was a lot better because I did a lot better today. But like when we can correct things on a daily basis instead of a weekly basis, you're growing a lot quicker. So like, again, it's up to you how often you want to send them. If you're not sending them at all, then we got to work on that, because you have another level to reach, right? And you owe it to yourself. You owe it to your family. You owe it to all the people that you know that are rooting for you. And you definitely owe it to the people that are rooting against you.
Absolutely.
Because I know you guys want to prove them wrong. But even though that's not the main focus, that's not the main motivator. But if you have those people, you got those demons that live in your head rent free, you know, focus on yourself first, make yourself proud, but at the same time, let that drive you, because that dude is trying to outwork you. And you're not going to let that happen. But again, Jamie, I love that. That's amazing. The fact that you're feeling that way, and, you know, I see you on your fitness and everything. And again, if there's anything else that we can work on, either personally or professionally or business wise and fitness wise, all that stuff, like let's keep doing it. But you're well on your way to achieving like your best self, and it's going to be an everyday journey. It's something that we always focus on. It's something that we're always working on. It's just trying to be the best version of ourselves. You're never going to master that. You're gonna feel like you do, because you reach a whole nother level, but at the same time, like, it's always a struggle. Staying consistent is always a struggle for everybody. We're all naturally, actually, I don't want to use the word lazy, because that's not the word. Because I definitely know much lazier people than either myself or anybody else. But like naturally, like some days I just want to like veg out and relax and chill out. But you got to be able to master your mind and say, no, I don't want to do that right now. I can't do that right now. I owe it to all the people rooting for me. I owe it to myself. Look over your goals, make sure you're aligned with them, and then move on and do the things you don't feel like doing. And then guess what? Within 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you're happy you're doing it.
Yep. I think one of the biggest things that, you know, we have as a, I guess you could say, a flaw, humans, is we become complacent.
Yeah.
You know, we think we've arrived, we've gotten, you know, good at this one skill, and we think that, oh, okay, you know, I'm good at this now. I don't need to learn anything else. I don't need to do anything else. When there's always more to learn, there's always room to grow. You know, the top athletes in the world, the top scientists in the world, these guys are constantly working to refine their skills, increase their knowledge, working at their craft, because there's always more to learn. You know, so when you realize that, and you realize that, listen, where I'm at right now, yeah, it's a good level, but it's not a great level. It's not the ultimate level. I want to be at that ultimate level.
You want to be the GOAT.
Why for?
You want to be the GOAT?
Absolutely.
I love that. Dude, I mean, you guys got to also understand, like, even though, like, looking at, like, oh, I'm the GOAT of trading, you guys can all be that on a personal basis when it comes to your family, not so much with the trading, but you guys can be the chosen one. You guys all have the ability. There's somebody that comes into the lineage of a family, whether, you know, it's already happened in your family or not, where one person is born into that family and changes the lifespan of the rest of their generations, right? Where now people look at that family differently. People treat that family differently. You can afford to, if let's say you have like a health crisis, somebody's there to do that for them, to take care of the bills for them. You guys are like, people shake your hand differently. People look at you guys differently, you as a family, and you set up yourself for generations, or your family alone. That's you. You can be that person. You could be the chosen one. I know that is for me, right? There's nobody in my family doing what I'm doing. So like, be that person. What's up? Someone say
I
something?
want to be the chosen one of my family. So, and I'm pretty much the only one.
Yes,
only
sir.
one that
Take on that responsibility
do
head
that.
on. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Let's go. I was gonna say something else with that, but so important, all this stuff. Oh, that's what I'm saying. Jamie, I was replying to you. That's why trading is so hard on a weekly basis for people, because they'll have one really good week, and then all of a sudden the next week, just shit, they give away all their profits again. Got things in the chat over here.
Yep, absolutely. And that's why, in my AARs, and you've heard me say it, I'm repeating myself, but I'm repeating myself so that when I verbalize it and I put it out there, I commit to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I remind myself, stay humble. Yeah, I'm improving. Yeah, things are starting to turn the corner. Yeah, I'm learning a lot, but I still have a lot to learn. I still have a lot more to do, and I still have a lot of work to put in. So 1 week, 2 weeks of, progressing, being in the blue, getting good trades, good live back testing, good analysis does not mean that you have arrived. It just means that you are improving. And I want to strive for continuous improvement. So that's why, at least in my AARs, when I send them, I always remind myself, yes, today was a good day. Had great analysis, trade worked out. There are things I could have done better. I still need to improve. Most of all, I need to remain humble. And you'll always hear me repeat that over and over and over again in my AARs. I need to remain humble.
Yeah, dude, you say it in the voice message every day. You're like, listen, great day, whatever, but listen, I'm gonna get back to work, and tomorrow's another day. Yeah, I think you say that same thing, like just towards the end of your voice message every time.
Yep.
I love it. 1% better every day. You don't have to like kill yourself every day. Just get a little 1% better. Back test 1 more hour. And then that's another powerful thing. It's just doing 1 more, right? 1 more rep, 1 more minute, 1 more anything. Holding yourself to that standard is huge.
Agreed.
All right, so 8 o'clock about to come around the corner. Over here, we're getting a dump over here on gold, right? Price continuing right back down over here. Could they be expecting good numbers, or are they pricing this in to possibly hold support here and continue back up today with some bad numbers? This could be not pricing it in, but grabbing liquidity before heading back up. But right now we are again on gold. Look at this 4-hour candle flipping bearish right now, right? Starting to pass the low of the previous. Can we break below this level over here, or are we going to hold that as a support? Let's see. A lot of these trend lines, I hate having trend lines on here like so much like that. Just levels are so much better. But again, sometimes they make sense. Yeah, daily's bearish over here. Could just be a pullback into this range to hold support and continue up. But again, it could be, like I said, you got this bearish trend that we were respecting ever since holding support over here down around 1790. We've been creating these higher lows, higher highs. But are we creating this pullback channel over here where we get lower lows, lower highs formed in this channel, and then all of a sudden we start coming over here, and then all of a sudden we start breaking these areas and continuing back down? right? And we'll see that if we get further increases in rates. This could just be that pullback and liquidity grab before continuing down. Keep projecting this level here. And it's cool too, having these EMAs on the chart. Like this is the 200 EMA right here. And now we're meeting up with it for the first time since April 2021. On the 4 hour. What was it? The real one though. I think the daily. What was that, GJ? All right, well, I think it was GJ. But anyway, the 4 hour EMA over here, 200 EMA, we're now bouncing off of that area. We're starting to reject that area as well. So let's see.
Just saw something. Gold on ONDA, 4 hour closes at 6. 4 hour closes at 5. But on yours on forex.com, it's closing at 6.
Forex.com?
Yeah, you have
Forex.com. Yes, I'm sorry. I didn't know what you meant. So this has it closing at, where is it? In 2 hours, just about. So basically at 10.
Yep.
Because what was it, daylight savings or something?
And if you go to gold with ONDA, the chart of ONDA,
Okay.
it closes in 1 hour instead of 2. So you don't have the same candles 4 hour.
Dude, you know what pisses me off? It doesn't want to piss me off, but my MetaTrader and all these liquidity providers and all that stuff, the 4 hour is always like off. It's always like messed up. Like my 4 hour always looks different on MetaTrader compared to what's it called? This.
You may want to use, so TradingView just added 8cap as a liquidity provider. So you may want to look at, because you use 8cap
really?
before. Yeah, you may want to look at them now, because I updated all my charts to reflect 8cap, and now it's in line with my MT4. I'm like, wow, okay, well, perfect.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, because I was on ONDA and therefore like the 4 hour candles aren't the same.
Dude. Yeah.
Now, what is weird?
Even 8cap is different than my MetaTrader, which is 8cap as well.
Interesting.
Can you show your
Yeah.
MetaTrader?
Yeah, let me bring it over here. So looking over here,
that's what I have on ONDA. We already passed the previous candle's low.
So, but look at this this 4 hour candle, no bottom wick, right? We got the bottom wick on this one.
Yeah, well, I have the same thing on ONDA. If you go on TradingView and you choose the gold ONDA, you have the same thing.
You're right.
Because they open and close 4 hour candles 1 hour off.
Just trying to see.
Compared to 8cap and Forex.com.
Okay. So I'm keeping with
Alanda.
Alanda. All right. I guess we're gonna rechart this a little bit. Oh, actually, before we do, I did want to maybe you want to be careful. Be careful with sells right now, because if you're looking over here, I know we don't have our actual chart marked off here, but you do have this level. Right here. Right. So price keeps bouncing off this area. And then if you look at the 30-minute over here, we're holding that support. And I'm wondering if we have enough volume where this candle creates a top wick, starts breaking its own low, breaking the low over here and continuing down, and we get a quick scalp here and we secure before 8:30, before the news comes out. But right now we are holding that support, and I think some people are getting trapped right now. You can always tell when people are getting trapped. People get impatient, thinking they're missing this whole move, or that they missed this move right here, and then they want to just take price down. It's best just to wait for that close below and see what we end up getting.
Yeah, and they get beat up on that one.
Yes, sir. Let's see. This
Yeah,
is
that's what I noticed too. On pullback step, I
Yeah.
noticed that like it seems like the market will stop people out, as well as like you know the revenge traders, like the people that are just trying to get in. I think like the market will take those people out too.
yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, let me see. So you were saying with the pullbacks, Reese?
Yeah, I was saying with the pullbacks, I noticed too, like while I'm looking at the charts, that it seems like the market will stop people out and take people out.
Yeah, I mean, people get trapped all the time, dude. When it comes to like selling at a support or buying at a resistance, not checking, certain areas to the left, people just get trapped, and it's typically novice traders, like traders just starting out, and big banks, institutions, hedge funds, they all take advantage of that. And they all these traders too are trying to make the market, and they know, and they can't. They think that their move is going to actually move the market a little bit, and they'll be able to not control the market. They know they can't, but they think that that when they call tops, price is pretty much going to continue the other way, the opposite way. When in reality, it's not. You're just trying to jump on the train and catch the move that everyone else is on. But I want to remark off gold over here because this is a mess. 1680, 1750, 1830. $1,900.
I was remarking my charts while you were talking, but a thought just came into my mind. So a while back, I heard a trader say, when you look at the banks and the hedge fund traders and all those guys, think of them as the sharks. They're the great whites, okay? And they're swimming through that ocean, and they're the top, they're the ultimate apex predator in the ocean. They're eating everything that comes along. We, as retail traders and little guys, we're the remora. We just hang around the shark and we grab his crumbs as he's biting off on everybody else. And that's what you're trying to do. You're just trying to follow the big guy.
Yes, sir.
Everything else that he doesn't eat.
That's all we're doing. Just following the move, figuring out what's going on, and then taking price accordingly. What's interesting right here is I just realized that we had this bearish trend over here that we've been respecting. Obviously, after COVID, kind of in this limbo, you had like a lot of issues going on, Israel and Gaza. You had really good NFP, inflation fears over here, increase in rates. We've had a lot of different things over here, but right now, price is bouncing off this trend line over here, right? Holding support. Also, this trend line here and holding at 1850 or 1830, along with a bunch of fear in the market, and also a little bit more of a dovish Fed, right? So this could definitely be a very, very key area right here for gold to continue right back up, right? Including weakness in the dollar. We're getting this pullback on the dollar over here, right? And I've been talking about this key area right here in the dollar, right? Where we could be coming right back into this area, holding support. So far we did. We bounced off that area, but now we're creating this lower high over here, retesting this previous area to the left and possibly continuing down from here, right? Because we reached these all-time highs at 105. And if you guys go over, again, reading articles is so important. Just want to keep watching GJ. Okay. Just trying to see how GJ is forming over here. Let's see. We had a article over here that we can look at. We'll look at the beginning of it. Dollar edges lower ahead of U.S. jobs data. Oh wow! Look at the author of the article. That confused the shit out of me. I was like, wait a minute, I didn't write that. The dollar edged lower on Friday as risk appetite picked up ahead of U.S. jobs data later in the day. So everyone's focused on NFP really when it comes to the data coming out this week. Equities rose as investors hoped U.S. data might sway the Federal Reserve to slow its current aggressive pace of interest rate hikes over the coming months. So that's what I was talking about before, right? Investors are hoping that this data is going to slow them down from increasing rates, which is now going to be better for them to do business, which is why the stock market is rising. The ADP National Employment Report on Thursday showed U.S. Payrolls rising at a slower than expected pace last month. Trading on Friday is quieter with London markets. Okay, whatever. Okay, so the dollar eased 0.1% to 101.75 against a basket of other major currencies, while the euro inched up 0.1% as well. Now, investors have had mixed views on the greenback since it hit a 10-year high in mid-May. George, Greek name, global head of Forex research in Deutsche Bank said the dollar is pricing a safe haven risk premium that is so extreme it rarely has persisted over time and is now in the process of unwinding. Bullish analysts argue that the Fed's tightening cycle is based on a sturdier growth story than Europe's, especially when the Russian oil embargo, which might hurt the economy of the Europe Union. So the U.S. dollar recovery on the back of the new hawkish signals from the Fed is lacking momentum, with the dollar index having difficulty holding above the 102 handle. So what they're saying is like we're getting this pullback over here because we reached all-time highs, pricing in all these rate increases, but we reached like 105 very quickly. So can we sustain that? Can we reach even higher heights with more increase in rates? You guys already see the damage it's doing to the stock market. Maybe the Fed pulls back on increasing rates, right? The dollar continues to fall because we've printed so much in the last 2 years. Now you're going to see gold holding this support over here and possibly continuing up with more fear in the market and less increase in rates and the stock market tanking. Does that all make sense?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Listen, I'm no expert on fundamentals. I'm more of a technical guy. That's why Sharma really covers the fundamentals. But it's something that, like, again, like Jamie, you were saying, there's always more to learn. That's why fundamentals really entice me, because there's always so much more to learn. There's so much more to learn about micro and macroeconomics. That fascinates me. I'm looking at GJ over here. 15-minute is breaking down over here, which is good. What we want is this low created. We want a nice close below this area. I don't know if you guys want to take any sells on GJ, but it looks like we're getting a little bit of a fake out. I could definitely see short-term pullbacks over here. These are going to be riskier sells, right? Because we could very well hold a higher low over here and continue back up. Yeah, you also have the 4-hour over here, which is closing in 44 minutes for this chart. Jesus. I mean, the thing is, this one lines up with my MetaTrader. All right, 15-minute, just closed bearish. This one's just passing the low. This one's just breaking below it. Like right away. No top wick. So again, like I said, safer sells are going to be below here. We're still in a bullish trend, right? You could very well be grabbing short-term sells in here. You're about 7 pips in profit if you were to take this as it broke the low over here. But at the same time, like, again, we can hold support. This is where, like, if you want to take something like that, damn, it's dropping. If you want to take something like that, you know that you're going to be securing somewhere in this consolidation, right? Stop loss up here in the 30-minute. Yeah. See, I was eyeing this before, and this 15-minute was really stalling. Like this 15-minute took the whole candle to really drop. Like we did create that top wick and started passing the low, but we kept respecting this support, kept bouncing around. And we actually ended up closing like somewhere around that area. So are we tapping into this 50 EMA over here, holding support to continue back up? I don't know, but the 4-hour is flipping over here. But we're still in a very bullish trend. All right. All right, gold over here. Gotta redraw our areas. So right now we're still holding that support in this area that we were talking about with Quentin. We also have to go back to EJ. Yeah, we're still holding support and this resistance up here. Yeah, still holding that support there. So we're just waiting on NFP right now. And obviously, like you're coming awfully close to NFP as well on GJ over here. So maybe we're just getting a pullback before that data comes out and we can continue back up. But like I said, I think we're going to get mixed data. I think that unemployment is going to drop to 3.5 because again, we observe that pattern over here of barely, a couple of you guys weren't on. But like we haven't had 3 consecutive months of the same unemployment rate, right? So right over here, we had 2, December and January of 2021. We had the same exact numbers when it comes to unemployment, around 6.7%. And then as you keep going down, you have just about like we are dropping. Some months were a little bit ahead of the previous, but in the end, we always drop over here. But last time we had 2 consecutive months of the same, we dropped off a nice little drop right here. So now April and May had the same exact unemployment over here. It's 3.6. So now can we get another one, right? Can we get another drop over here to 3.5 like they're expecting over here? But now we got really bad numbers coming out of ADP, which is, you know, a good indicator of what NFP is going to be. But a lot of times these numbers are completely different. So you got to keep that in mind. Unemployment claims dropped over here as well, right? So that could give you some data for unemployment rate, but we may get some mixed data over here. And before that comes out, I'm just going to run to the bathroom real quick and I'll be right back. All right. What's up, boys? So we're getting that pullback over here on GJ, which is nice. Did anybody try taking these scalps? Short-lived scalps down here? Definitely want to secure it this time. Nobody? Yeah. Yeah, P's coming out. Snapping back a little bit. Like I said, safer sells below here. Even safer below here. And real safe below here. I like a gold snapping back. So now in the future, you know, I don't do this, but like if this is something that you guys want to do with like a gambling account, you got to like try to figure out different ways that you could grab some of these news pushes, even though like it really is gambling. Where do you expect price to go, and where can you put like buy stops and sell stops? Has anybody ever been curious about how to do that? Am I muted? No.
How to do what exactly?
Like, so when you're trading the news, we always trade the reaction to the news. We wait for the move after and see if we get a good setup, and then we take it, right? That's not gambling. That's trading and using the volume. When it comes to trying to grab that push during the news, right? A lot of people want to know how to take it, just like you guys were talking about how you want to know how to catch these like long moves, big moves on the higher time frames. It's the same thing with the news. People want to try to grab it. And it's always been interesting to me on how people do it. But, you know, if you were to set a buy stop right here and a sell stop right down here, you could potentially grab this move. You just got to be worried about, not worried, but aware of a liquidity grab that takes your buy stop and activates it. And then all of a sudden, like just drops, takes you out. And then your sell stop activates and that continues down. But you also got to know when to secure. And when like price pushes 20, 30 pips and you just like, all right, that's the news, I'm done. You're not trying to leave runners or anything like that, unless it's a, you know, risk-free runner and you just, you know, let that thing run the rest of the day. But dude, we're getting a nice setup here as this candle's flipping. And I just wish like the timing was right. All right. Or you could put like a stop loss. Stop loss would be kind of wide. It would have to be somewhere mid-range right here. But are we going to get like a little push? Sometimes we get those little pushes before the news comes out. Yeah, GJ, don't underestimate the weekly to just create this top wick here. And that's better for us too, because now the weekly has a top wick, right? So now the next candle, very strong close, by the way. Next candle could definitely create a bottom wick, flip bullish, and then test 164. And then eventually these candle body highs up here. Right? You guys like the full screen?
I'm good with either.
What's up?
As I'm good with either.
Either. Yeah, I like playing around with it. Trading view is great. I mean, there's definitely some things that they can improve on. See, now I can't even find my thing like that. There we go. Wow, look at Sammy showing up right before NFP. Sammy, you popping in right before NFP, huh?
That's yeah.
Skip all the analysis. Coming right on in.
I don't think
I
I'm
was
gonna
gonna
trade
say,
today, but
Just looking for a handout.
you know, he must have been at the Queen's Jubilee.
Yeah, right. You and the Queen hanging out,
yeah, a late hangover last night
playing in the rain.
in the rain. What's rain?
That's all you know.
It's kind of humid today, to be honest.
How is it?
Yeah, but the sun's not out though. It's like cloudy, but very warm.
Yeah, that's kind of how it is today for us.
Did you guys take any trades or?
No, not yet. It's been very rangy. I mean, we were talking about it today, earlier today, how like the course of the month, how the volume goes. Wow, I think GJ's pushing hard for some reason. The course of the month, how like the first week is NFP week, so it's a slow week. We were talking about that yesterday, how it's a pain in the ass. Wait, hold on. It's a pain in the ass to trade a little bit. All right, NFP came out. Anybody have the numbers? They were good.
390.
390.
Yep. For non-foreign.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
Much
good
better
actually.
numbers. Much better numbers. So what you're looking for here is now a close below this level, right? A retest. Wait, actually, Quinn, what did unemployment come out at?
3.6%.
3.6. Okay. Wow. They did kind of did the opposite of what I thought would happen. Where I thought unemployment, I thought we were going to get mixed data. I did say that, but I thought we were going to get a drop in unemployment to 3.5. And I thought that this was going to miss the mark by a lot. I thought this was going to miss the mark by a ton. So that's mixed data. That's what you have right now. Good data coming out of the jobs numbers, unexpected almost. And that's going to signal to people that now the Fed is going to be looking at this. They're going to be thinking the Fed's looking at this like, okay, maybe we can, continue to increase interest rates. Maybe we can continue the hawkish sentiment. All right. But right now, let's see if that's the case. We should get a close below this level. And don't forget how strong this level is. Sitting right here. Don't forget how strong that level is. Once we close below that level, get like a retest or even just a wick rejection and then take this thing down. But we need that close below here. We keep rejecting. We keep bouncing around over here. So yeah, just get that 15-minute close here. And then you could possibly take this down into areas such as this. Let's see, where did GJ end up going? Okay, GJ grabbed that liquidity just like we talked about. All right, again, grab the reaction to the news. Wait for it. Wait for the setup over here. Wait for this candle close over here, the hourly. Or actually, maybe not the hourly, but let's see what we're doing over here as far as, because we're sitting in this range, right? This is all a range right here. So once we start breaking out of here, you got this whole range that you could be taking advantage of today. And again, if it's Friday and you don't feel comfortable taking a trade after the news or anything like that, stay out. Go back test. Get ready for next week. Because that's what I was talking about before. NFP week is that first week of the month, and it's very slow. You kind of like just wait all week for a move like this, and nothing ends up happening. Right. So the second week and the third week are those weeks where like all that volume is. So next week we should be grabbing a good amount of trades. Week 3 we should be grabbing a good amount of trades in June. Right. Week 4 as well, same thing. But towards the end of that week, you start to dial down risk a little bit, getting towards the end of the month. And you just repeat the cycle over and over and over again. But the course of a month, the meat is all in the middle. Course of a week, the meat is all in the middle, right? Same thing with the day, right? The meat, a lot of that is during London and New York crossover, pretty much the middle of the day.
Yes, you're right.
Missed a great conversation, Sammy. It'll be on YouTube though. You'll be able to watch it, but I'll be posting certain clips of it. I think it was awesome. Great session today. Even though we didn't take anything, very light week. I don't know what did I take. How many trades did I take this week? Barely any. A lot of them. Yeah, I think I only took one trade.
Same as me. I took one as well.
Yeah, whatever here. These two were journal trades. Like trades that I missed. I should have taken. Well, actually, not should have taken. I wasn't on the chart at the time, so there's not as much FOMO there. But this was like the only trade I took today or this week. But next week it'll be, we should grab a lot more.
Definitely. That the discipline we keep this week will pay off next week, I believe.
Oh, always. Because the week before we had a great week, right? So the week before you have a great week, and then all of a sudden you come into this week like thinking it's going to be the same volume, the same everything, and then all of a sudden like you just lose all your profits from that previous week. Now you spend the next week trying to gain those back. You're going back and forth, back and forth. But if you can stay patient during these times and these weeks and just be very selective, it's going to pay off. It always does. See, we just got this 5-minute candle close above that level. This candle is creating a top wick and breaking the low of that previous wick. So could we be continuing this down with a possible safe stop loss above this 15-minute candle back in this range and price continues down? I think I'm going to lower my risk and take this. I've seen this setup before. Okay. Most likely my final trade of the week over here. So now I'm in somewhere around here. Stop loss here. TP down here. Price to current 1-to-1. Taking advantage of the fundamentals here. About 10 pips, almost 10 pips in profit. You know what I like? Sometimes the what's it called? The trading view is like a split second ahead of MetaTrader. Not that like you could really react off of that, but it's always it's cool seeing like things almost in advance.
It is. I said I laugh. I look at this. What is the broker doing right now? You know, you see the trade moving like, man, this thing is really moving. You look over at MT4 like, really? 2 pips behind, 1 pip behind. What's wrong with you?
I know. We go. All right, 17 pips. All right, I'm out.
UJ shot through the roof. Sorry, got cut off there. UJ shot through the roof.
Did it?
EJ steady like GJ, but if you look at UJ,
let's take a look.
It's ridiculous.
You are. Woo! Wow. I mean, that's another thing when it comes to, we're holding support over here based on that data that just came out. Again, with anticipation that the Fed could be increasing rates. There we go. Anticipation that the Fed could be increasing rates. I marked this box off a few days ago at the end of May, saying that we could come down into this area. Actually, I think I marked it off when we were up here. I was saying we could come down into this key area and continue up from there, right? But again, based on that article, us reaching these all-time highs and the economy not being where we want it to be, could this be, like the high, and now we start tanking from there? Could we keep getting pullbacks and this being all that priced in, rate increase? Beautiful. All right, so two trades on gold this week, or 2 trades this week. whatsoever. GJ is just kind of ranging in here. Right, we didn't get caught in these trying to get these short-term pullbacks right before NFP, like most people try to do when they get FOMO of this. Right, we are just staying out and watching it happen. Gold, we watched it all play out. Right. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm sorry. So ended up getting out around 80%, around 17 pips, somewhere around here. So a little bit shorter than this. Just going to secure another piece over here. Nice. All right, so secured there. We just secured right here. Stops. At break even.
I'm about to leave now, boys. So
I actually have to hop off right now too because I gotta go pick someone up at 9 a.m. Bring him to the airport real quick. So, guys, that was a great session. Like I said, very good psychological talk. We waited for the reaction to the news. We didn't just jump into this. We waited for this wick to be formed and price to pass low that candle right there, anticipating the bad data or the good data coming out of the U.S. Mixed data, but good data. Actually, very surprising data too. Clean move to the left. We take advantage of this thing, knowing that we have the volume. 8:30 a.m. We know that we could grab this impulse entry with a clean move to the left, right? Any other time, this is Asian session. Really got to wait for like a close below this level. No data coming out. Really wait for that close below that level. But this is a healthy top wick, very long top wick, following a strong bearish candle close, right? Rejecting this level for the last time. And price just passing low of that candle, and you take this thing down. Secure on the way. Grab your profits. Grab your profits when news comes out on gold. Because again, this can snap right back, take you out. We can hold a resistance after forming a low down here. And then eventually you guys can jump in this later on if you haven't taken the trade yet. And then wait for that resistance to form to take price down. All right. So that makes sense to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Love it. Guys, have an amazing weekend. I'll see you guys probably. I want to do something Sunday. I'm thinking about doing like a back testing session Sunday morning because I have to head over to Philly in the afternoon. But I'm going to have some time on my hands on Sunday. So if you guys want to hop on, we could definitely do that. If not, I'll just back test on my own and record it for you. But I'm sure there's going to be a handful of you guys that want to join.
Yeah, just put it in the chat. Let us know.
100%. 100%. Like I said, I have some family in town right now because of my grandparents' anniversary last night. So like tonight we're gonna go see Top Gun and hang out a little bit. But Sunday should be open for me to either hop on a Zoom with you guys if you guys need like a one-on-one or the back testing session, which I definitely want to do. And then we could run through the charts and do a little breakdown for the week as well, which I would love to start getting back to, is doing that on Sunday.
Absolutely.
All right, guys.
Steph?
All right.
Quentin, were you trying to say something?
Yeah, around what time you thinking about doing it on Sunday?
So Sunday, let me just check my schedule. I know I have to. No, that's not happening anymore. Crazy story real quick. My cousin is stuck in Iceland right now. She has COVID. And she was coming back from London, and now they have her stuck over there. And she was supposed to have her grad party on Sunday, which is why my Sunday is now open. So I'm thinking sometime in the morning, maybe around 9, 10 a.m. So something around there. But guys, I gotta hop off. I'm gonna be late. Guys, have a great weekend. I'll see you guys Sunday. I'm looking forward to it. And I'll see you guys then, all right?
You got it.
See you, boys.